Scott, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Good. Another tough test this Friday night against a side who are making good strides this season.
Another big test for us. Like you said, a good team, competitive team that have done very well under their coach. So, as always, really, every fixture, and certainly you get to this point in the season, there are always competitive games in this league. So, we're looking forward to which will be a tough game and one which we want to come out the right side of, really. So.
Their form's been a little bit mixed, but they've got a couple of notable away wins in recent weeks. And in Danny Roll, they seem to have a very progressive young manager.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I think Danny's done a very good job going in there. Like you said, it's look, they're a competitive team, young squad, also with then some experience in it as well, know their way around a football pitch and know their way around a league, really. So, tough game ahead, which we'll fully prepare for.
In terms of style from Sheffield Wednesday, you've obviously done your due diligence. What are you expecting to see from them in terms of the way they're going to play? Well-coached
team, really well-coached team. Vary in and out of possession in terms of their structure and what they get to. There's some threats in their team, really. So nothing too different to what we faced over large parts. We need to be very clinical in our moments. We need to have a good structure and a good base about us, really. Otherwise, it's a team that can cause problems, and I think you've seen that over some of the results they've got. So we'll be ready for that.
You talked about threats. I mean, the obvious ones that jump off the page are like Barry Bannon, Josh Windass, Michael Smith. They've got, with Smith and the other options that they've got different ways they can play, don't they?
Yeah, they have. Yeah, they've got options certainly on top line as well. They've got options in terms of different profiles of what they could go with. The other two, what you mentioned, obviously Windass has been around the division, a goal threat, and Barry Bannon as well, obviously a player that's got vast experience, really, a good footballer that obviously controls things for them. So some good individual players.
And in terms of your squad, how's the confidence? How's things after the Preston games? A tough local derby and a fairly quick turnaround.
Yeah, we're all good. We're in a good place. To be fair, we injury-wise, we're on the right side of that, and people are coming back fit. Squad's in a good place. No real injury update in terms of us. We go into this game as strong as we can be. With obviously the long term is still out and still coming back. And coming out the weekend's game, look, it was a game on any other day. You probably come out of it with a totally different result, and it's probably a bit of a different spin on it. We didn't manage to get that result, but our general performance, like I said after the game, I stand by that now, was a really, really good, solid performance. A tough game in a local derby against an aggressive side, and what the atmosphere brings as well. I thought we coped with it superbly well, and we created 2 or 3 glorious chances, which on another day go in, and at the weekend that wasn't the case, and we come out with a draw, really. So there was a frustration there, and there was a disappointment, but a firm believer in that one's done now, it's dusted, and we move on to Sheffield. And if we can keep replicating what we've replicated over the course of the season, and more to the point over the last probably 5 or 6 games where we're starting to create chances and we look a very good side, we'll be just fine.
After the weekend results, there's a little gap appeared to the top 2. There's always a pressure to win, Scott, but does that focus the mind a little bit more when you're trying to close that gap and chasing?
No, not really. I only said it to the players this morning, really. I'll never jump on a roller coaster of what this league and this season brings. So I've got no interest in what our competitors are doing in terms of, certainly at this point in the season. What Leeds, Sheffield are doing is just an absolute irrelevance to me. And our focus is, look, if we're not going to win enough games to generate enough points, then the facts are we're not going to be successful or get to where we need to get to. We can't jump on that roller coaster of emotion over a weekend, looking at what other teams are doing or what they're not doing. 5 points, 6 points, whatever the gap is. It's a total relevance to me. The main focus is every game we go into, can we win? Can we get 3 points? And by the time we get to April, that may be a different story, don't get me wrong. But at this present moment in time, 15 games left, I think there are there's many more stories and there's many more scenarios that we're going to be facing, and you're going to be asking me week in, week out. That is what it is. Let's go and win games and try and win as many as we can.
Yeah, it's an irrelevance because you've got no control control over what
No,
you do,
exactly that, mate.
except when you play.
Exactly that. We've got one control over one of the teams because we play them. I can't control. None of us can control what a certain team does one weekend to the next. What we can control is us winning football matches and being as positive and as dominant as we can to win them. And like I said, the cold hard facts are you need to win games. You need to hit a certain marker this year. So if you want to get promoted, that marker was set at the beginning of the season. It's been set over the last 10 years of teams in championships. If you hit a certain point, it gives you a rough gauge of where you need to be, and that's exactly it. We need to keep churning out results and get some wins and see where that leads us.
You spoke about Lyle Foster this week. Is he doing a job for you out on the left? Would you prefer him to be playing in the centre?
Not really. No, I'll be honest with you. Probably initially when I put him there, I see something that he could play there, and I've really liked Lyle there. I think he's been a threat for us. Maybe not his natural position, and I've not really spoken in great detail with Lyle regarding that. But I think he's been superb out on the sides. He brings something to the team, brings an energy, gets himself in really good positions as well, and he's been involved or in and around some goals for us, and certainly some big chances what fell for him from that position as well. So it's not something that I see as a secondary position for him. I think it's a position that, credit to Lyle, that he can play off the sides, and he can also play as a 9.
Is it a situation with him with a little bit of confidence? Just need a goal, you feel?
Yeah, probably. I think it's like any forward. I've played with many that I think forwards, but large part of their game is built around scoring goals. Of course, it is, and you know, Lyle's probably no different. Same as Flem, and the same with whoever it is, Barnsley, whoever them players are, and the same in many forwards at many football clubs, really. So, look, Lyle has, like I said, his general game has been very, very good, and he's missed. He'll be the first to say he's missed some chances. Keep getting in them positions, mate. Keep getting in them positions. Keep coming in every day, working hard, practicing. I'll always forgive someone for missing chances, and they keep showing the right way and the right attitude. So I'm sure there's an element of disappointment, and certainly the weekend probably Lyle was that. Can't do anything about that now. You need to react in the right way, and Lyle's done exactly that. One will go in for sure, and he'll probably move on to a run, which you often see in forwards.
You brought a couple of players in the January window that have had some game time now. Marcus Edwards, I'm thinking, John Joe Shelby to a lesser extent, but yeah. Are those two guys very close now to being in real contention for starting games? Yeah, I think they're getting closer.
Certainly. Yeah, they're more training time now. We've had to tread carefully with both the players you're speaking about, because still a long way to go in this season, and what we don't want to do is push something and rush something and you lose them for 10 games, 8 games, because obviously not a lot of game time physically, probably body a little bit deconditioned, and they've both been in here now for 3 or 4 weeks. I think they've both gradually, certainly Marcus has probably got a lot more minutes, 30 minutes against Southampton, 20 minutes here and there, so he's probably in a more advanced position and gives him the best puts him in the best position to obviously perform. So yeah, both of them are slowly in contention, but it's a strong squad, and there's players performing in every position at this moment in time and doing very, very well, and they're the challenges as a coach and my challenges of how you change things, who comes out, who can give something different. But certainly them boys are heading in that direction.
It's a night game under lights at Turf Moor. There's always a sort of a special atmosphere about that. There's a lot of anticipation going into the game. Sheffield Wednesday are probably going to sell their allocation out. They're a big club with a big following, and of course we know that Turf Moor will get right behind the teams. It's something you must be relishing.
Yeah, it is, and always night games always bring that certain atmosphere. Friday night as well. As always, we're going to need the place bouncing. We're going to need the support, and our supporters right behind us, which that has always been the case, really. So there's a big game ahead of us, and we're going into now which is the final third of the season. We need every bit of their support come Friday and ongoing from there, really.
Just finally from me, with creeping towards the end of the season and contract negotiation times. What's the situation with, for instance, CJ Egan, Riley and Robertson, Brownhill? Is there anything you can tell us? Are the talks ongoing?
There's some talks ongoing with them players. I think I'm conscious of obviously getting into real great detail with players in the middle of the season, certainly young players. But yeah, they're players that we want to keep here. We want them to be part of it. And there's ongoing talks with each of them players. But like I said, probably I don't want to blur that too much with what the job in hand is and defocus them.
Thanks for that.
Cheers.
Thank you. Do you want to go now, Matt, or should we go straight camera off? Oh, yeah, sorry, go on. Yeah, sorry.
Hi, Scott.
Hi, Sean.
Firstly, how's Hannibal doing after what he said happened at the weekend?
He's all right. Yeah, he's in he's in a good place. Obviously, I think Ham was bitterly disappointed from the weekend and stayed close to that situation with him. But yeah, look, he's in a good place now. He's trained really well over the last couple of days, and like anything, that process is active now and is taking place. So we'll see what happens from there.
Yeah, the club statement afterwards said he'll be receiving the full support of the club. What sort of support does that entail?
I think like anything, it's just sticking close to that situation with Hannibal really, and just making sure that he's in a right frame and where he is on a psychological element. Like I've said, I've never have experienced obviously the association what happened at the weekend, or the allegation what happened. It's first for me, and someone so young like Hannibal, I'm very conscious of just making sure that he's fine, and probably a shock to him as well. So I think like anything, that pastoral care towards him is paramount from me really.
You said you've not experienced something like this in your managerial career. Has it been a difficult few days for yourself and the club?
It's not been difficult. Look, it was like anything, like we said, and in the moment of the game, there was things that were happening very quick, and there were things that certainly I was having to react to, and all of us were having to react to, because I didn't anticipate what Hannibal was going to say to me. So obviously at that moment, I'm just working out where he is and how he's feeling, and obviously making decisions. I think I said it after the game, I thought it was dealt with in a very good way in terms of the process, in terms of fourth official and the referee at the time. And it's now down to process of what's happening, and active investigation now going on. And we're here, like always, to support Hannibal first and foremost, and whatever he decides and wherever we see this going is that fundamentally we'll support him all the way.
That Preston Cup game's not too far away. The FA's process might not get done by then. Have you considered not playing in that game?
It's not something that I've really thought about, and I've not had them conversations with Hannibal. I don't see that being the case, but certainly maybe one that I'd need to touch on with Hannibal near the time.
Do you expect there to be any dialogue between the clubs before that game?
Maybe. Again, my main focus has been Sheffield. We're still 10 days out from that game. There may be some dialogue, but yeah, at this moment in time, it's not something that I've really thought about.
Just when's the game? Is it time to start converting some of those draws into wins now?
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. I think the fine margins of what we do. That game at the weekend, like I said, and there's been many a game this year where draws could have easily turned to wins. I'd be more concerned if we were where we were probably 4 months ago, where I thought 4 months ago, I thought we were rock solid defensively, but I didn't feel that we were looking like the team on the attacking side that I want us to look, and I didn't think we was generating too many chances or real clear chances. And it was probably more of a worry or more of a concern for me, and it was certainly something that we was really working on. I think the team have shifted twofold to where it is now, and I think if anyone would be present at our games over the last 4 or 5 games, I think you're seeing some real, a good team with a real good way about them, a patience, and then also a team that are creating big chances. always the hardest job in anything is them final touches and putting them in. I think if there's one criticism that we could say is exactly that. We need to be more clinical in these big chances. We need to put them away. And we've just probably not done that over the course of the last 4 or 5 games. Like I said, that's not really a big concern for me, or certainly one which I'm not overly worried about, because it's one that we need to keep working on.
Obviously, the defensive side can't be questioned, but the evolution of the attacking side of your team is something you're happy with.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely happy with that. Of course, there's still room for improvement, but I think I said it after the game to someone. If the Preston game, if we get a penalty at the end and we win the game 1-0, or we win it 2-0 before that, it would have been a 2-0 win, a 2-0 win against Hull, a 5-0 win against Plymouth. We're not having these conversations, and the fine margins are that we've missed 2 or 3 massive chances, and the narrative will come back on me, which I understand. I totally get that. But like I said, my feeling with the team, how I'm seeing the team look now, is very different to where it was 3 or 4 months ago. At times we wasn't generating chances, and we was, but it was sticky. It wasn't as clean as certainly the progression what it's looking now. Now, I don't want to sit here, or I don't want to make out that it sounds that, oh yeah, we're brilliant and we're moving in the right direction. There's no more to do on the attacking phase, because that's not the case. There's still loads we need to keep improving. But the work that we are doing, I am seeing improvement for that. And look, I'd love to sit here and go from this point to this point as quick as we can. Facts of the matter are, it's never like that. There's points along the point till you get there, and I'm seeing us getting to certain points, and hopefully that'll be enough come the end.
Yeah, I think you said in a touchline ban.
Yeah.
How does that change anything?
It probably changes a couple of little things, but nothing too drastic really. Of course, I can prepare the team. I can be in the change rooms before at half time and obviously at the final whistle. I suppose the only difference is I'm not physically there on a touchline, but we live in a world now where communications and obviously that facility to be able to speak to bench and communicate and obviously get a message across is there for us. So not ideal, of course not, but in the modern day now, our yellow cards getting pushed about is obviously something that every manager seems to face at some point in the season. Cheers, mate.
Nice, Scott.
Yeah, mate.
I know you're focusing very much on yourself at the moment, but Sheffield United do play Leeds on that Monday night. Is this a good opportunity for you playing night to apply some pressure early on?
Again, Matt, honestly, mate, I just see it that we got a game on Friday night, and we've got to win that game, and we've got to be the best version of ourselves and win that game. I can't tell you what's going to happen on Monday and who they play, when they play, what's going to happen if so and so win. It means this, or honestly, there's 15 games left, and at this moment in time, I can guarantee you that there will be many more scenarios come up here, and there'll be many more bits what are just throw things out there really. So I've always said it, mate, that the most stable teams, the ones what don't get on roller coasters and the most stable and consistent behaviours are normally the ones that give themselves the best opportunity. And we're getting to the point in the season where if there's one thing I want to guarantee, or I want my players to be, is fully focused on each game. Cliche as it sounds, it's no truer words, and that's what my experience tells me. My experience tells me that you need a stable team. You need a group of men and players that don't get involved and don't jump on the roller coaster for 90 minutes of football that someone else is playing, or a weekend of football where there's 2 games going on what may affect you. Just don't jump on the roller coaster. Just stay off it. Let someone else get on that if they want to. Just stay focused on what we need to do.
Can I ask you a couple of injury ones? Aaron Ramsey, so how far away is he now?
Yeah, he's progressing well. He had a tiny little bit of a setback last week, but he's back with us. I think he comes back into us tomorrow. He'll train with us tomorrow. So yeah, he's moving in the right direction, Aaron, and we're really pleased with his progression. We need to obviously it was a big injury, and but he's moving in the right direction.
And Luca Colosio, is he in contention yet?
He's back now. He's been training with us for the last week. So Luca's back and been training. Cheers.